Drinking some water can help with the dizziness. Oh, and lying flat on...
Thank you, Bennett. Seems like you really know your...
Well, when life gives you
Bennett, weren't you feeling dizzy too? Stop.
Eula might come off as a little frosty, but she takes caring for her friends super
Traveler, I know what that look means. What's on your mind? Maybe seasoned veterans have an I sense it too. Something seems to have changed. It might be imprudent to speculate out loud. Traveler, I think... you...
It's not over yet. Brace yourselves. This'll be a challenge.
Stay back! I'm going to cut this weed down to size!
Teamwork is dreamwork! That's gonna hurt in the morning!
Wind strike!
Why do they never miss?
Time to go.
Ow. Let's light it up!
Let's dance.
Wind strike!
Let's light it up! Benny's adventure team, I have failed you.
Oh, no! You're toast!
Wind strike! As one with wind and cloud!
Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strike!
What in the world was that thing? One moment...
Is everyone alright?
We're fine. But can you please tell us what's going on?
I take it this monster is whom I had the pleasure of meeting last time.
Correct. As you might have guessed, this is a mutated whopper flower. An extreme...
But can whopper flowers turn into humans?
Not typically. But conditions on Dragonspine are far... Perhaps the dragon's blood seeped into the land, then was passed to the monsters via the ley lines.
How could that happen?
This mountain is home to the remains of Durin, the venomous dragon. If there is anywhere in the world one might expect life, Durin was an artificially created life form. In other words, this mountain we stand on is a cradle of life's profoundest mysteries.
The avalanche. It must have been the work of this imposter.
Agreed. All the other troubles you faced on the way down could also have been its handiwork. My guess...
Right, I forgot all about that.
It's not inconceivable.
But what was its purpose?
I have a preliminary hypothesis on whopper flowers are masters of mimicry, and those we encounter in the wild often appear in the vicinity of the plants they impersonate. In other words, the whopper flower likely has an instinct to replicate and replace as a plant. It will disguise itself as another plant and infiltrate the group, hiding among them for cover. The plant, but when it disguises itself as a human...
It wanted to replace you and infiltrate our group?
Yes. Maybe it created the avalanche to get rid of us. I predicted this eventuality, so I availed myself of the avalanche to hide and lure it out. It was watching us the whole time. And when it saw that I had disappeared, its instinct was to...
Yes, that's exactly how whopper flowers operate.
So when it approached and attacked Joel, what was that?
Perhaps. Or maybe it enjoyed posing as a human, and wanted to experience what it felt like to be human.
We're fortunate to have discovered it in time. I think the Traveler was the first person other than Albedo to notice something was wrong.
Traveler, how could you tell the real me and...
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an imposter. They looked at...
I see. It goes to show how difficult it is to impersonate a human. This mutant whopper flower tried its best to replicate the original exactly, but still managed to miss some details.
Unbelievable. To think that Dragonspine creates such terror.
Anyway, at least we won in the end. It looks like my method did work after all. I used up all the bad luck.
About that. If you're referring to having fallen down the mountain and avoided injury, well, that's because I was secretly protecting you.
Huh? Well, that still counts as good luck to me.
Yes, that's not an unreasonable way of looking at it. Okay. We've been delayed long enough.
Yeah, let's go!
Woohoo! I'm back!
Cyrus doesn't seem to be here. He must have headed up the mountain. Let's wait for him here.
Amber, are you feeling better?
Yep, all good now. Nothing to...
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. If not for you, I really want to thank you all properly, but I can't think how at the moment.
Huh? You must be pretty used to being on the receiving end of people's kindness.
Come on, don't put it like that. Sure, plenty of people have shown me kindness before, but that doesn't mean I will ever take it for granted. No matter...
Well, instead of repaying those who helped you, perhaps you could help others yourself. Everyone meets others in need from time to time.
Yep, you're right. That's what I've always tried to do, and will always continue to do. Right. And when Cyrus gets back, I'll find some way to help him out too.
This has been quite an eventful day.
Yeah, it has. It's really hit me how tired I am.
I need to rest.
Yeah, I need to get some water and maybe a piece of fruit. Once I'm rested up, I need to get...
Well, it looks like the curse of the mountaineers who couldn't get off the mountain is feels like an action-packed chapter has come to a close.
Why not? Then, please, come with me. You sensed something too, didn't you?
Huh? Are you going back to your camp again? Okay. Might as well.
Good. Shall we set off right away? Sorry for bringing you back here once again. Some topics are best discussed in private.
Is this about the imposter?
That's right. I have to say, Traveler, I'm very surprised you noticed the difference between me and the imposter. Yes, this mark.
Ooh, sounds like the beginning of a big story.
Well, I can't deny that what I'm about to say does sound like something from a So, what do you think this diamond-shaped mark means?
A tattoo? A crest? Something else?
No. Consider it a birthmark. Have you ever seen an intricate glass ornament and wondered how it was made? Well, one method for crafting with glass is a technique known as glass blowing. Glass blowing is not a widely known art in Teyvat. For this reason, glassware made in this way is usually very expensive. As the name implies, glass blowing involves blowing air into a hole, much like blowing up a balloon. This type of glassware is known for having a pontil mark at the point where the blowpipe was inserted, where the hole was sealed at the very end.
Sounds kind of amazing.
It is a wondrous and beautiful art form. Alice says that these marks are seen as proof of the maker's fine handiwork, the only flaw in an otherwise perfect work of art. My mark is something similar to this. The difference between synthetic and natural life lies in the directional flow of the life force. The energy of a natural life form flows out from within. That's why flower buds bloom and curled leaves unfold. Creating life artificially, on the other hand, involves, to a certain extent, the introduction of an external source of energy. The alchemical substance drips and spreads out in all directions, resulting in this rather ingenious diamond shape.
Wow! So that's where
This mark is a sign of my artificial origins, and proof of my I presume that the imposter intentionally avoided replicating this mark, so as not to become less than perfect himself. You are fundamentally different from other people. I have few qualms about sharing my secrets with you. Just as Paimon said, it all sounds like a story. Even if you were to tell anyone else, they would regard it as nothing more than a tall. The transcendent and miraculous are not the only things to which human beings aspire. People like to believe that those who are thoroughly different from themselves could only ever exist in stories. Or, in other words, all the unfathomable things we've seen recently. I have friends who write novels. If they wrote this story, it'd probably be even more complex.
making up stories is easy.
Oh, I didn't know you had that kind of talent.
Paimon's the best guide in Teyvat. Making up stories is a piece of cake.
In that case, how about we have a storytelling contest? We can base our stories on the events of the last few days.
Sounds great. But
I understand. Creativity is something that cannot be rushed. Take your time, and we'll see whose story is more compelling.
deal. Okay, we'll regroup with the adventure.
Sure. My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly. This is where the story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to replace you too. I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you and the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then, I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.